The following is a production of Fenix Media. The views expressed do not necessarily represent those of the company or its advertisers and may contain language that's unsuitable for younger listeners.
What's up, bees?
Hello.
Welcome to the Brit on Blast podcast, where we put everything and anything on blast. What's this week's roundup, Britton?
This week, we have the amazing Amy Burkett, owner of the Breathe Bar and just all around amazing human. She's a good friend to both of us, and I'm really grateful that she agreed to come on the pod and share her story. It was very inspiring, and I just love the interview.
Yeah. And just like every time that we say we're going to do an interview, I tell you guys that this is my favorite interview so far. And that is because every interview that we do, I just feel so grateful that these people let us share their stories. Some of these people I know really well beforehand. Some of them I don't.
They're all so different.
They're all so different. They all have such different businesses. I can't wait to share with you guys. We're actually going to increase the amount of interviews that we do to 2 a month, just because we're finding that we have so many interviews and so many incredible people that we want to share. And we're going to be doing some expansion into the West as well. So with that being said, Amy is actually a little bit more near and dear, I think, to both of us. There have been some really hard times in my life where Amy has shown up and she has not had to do that. Like, I at that time did not even know her well enough. Like, when I first went through my breakup, she was one of the first people to reach out. She took me out for wine. We sat and talked for hours. She's like the big sister I always wished I had.
She has like a very calming and wise presence about her. And as we get into the interview, she's owned 3 businesses. So she's really helped counsel me as far as like my business and to not, make things a bigger deal than they are. She's like, girl, you got this, and to keep perspective. So I'm so grateful for the relationship I have with her.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to see her tonight and I'm so excited.
What are you guys doing?
I don't know. You should come.
I might.
Yeah.
Just show up out of left field.
No, it's not. Literally, I think people expect to see us together. So it's
honestly,
they not out of left field.
What did I like queued up all of our posts, not to get too off topic, but I queued up all of our posts for like the next week and a half. And I've had so many people come up to me, even in my own Pilates studio, where they're like, oh, you're the other Brit.
It's like, yeah, when you see one, you see the other, right?
I'm so, like, sick. I'm into that.
I don't even think that invitations need to exist with us. So like, you're coming.
Yeah, I'm into that. All right. How was your week other than that?
Week was medium. I feel like I was just a little out of sync last week. Getting back from vacation is always, a challenge to get your footing, but usually I kind of crave like that routine and like the schedule and the habits. And so I like hop back in really, really quickly because I'm like, feel out of sync. And last week was hard. I mean, I got back into my routine. I did everything in my control, but I just didn't feel like 100%. I didn't feel back in alignment, if you will.
Yeah.
So that was just kind of weird. And I was just trying to like unpack why. And now
so much on your plate. And you just don't even you won't even recognize it, I feel like.
But yeah. And like looking back, we always say on the pod, hindsight is 20/20.
Yeah.
And so last week I was like, wow, I was like sick, but pretending like I wasn't. I was just like, if I would have just been like, you're kind of sick, like take a nap, I was just like trying to push through. And so I was like, and I think that, looking back, I had like a touch of anxiety prior to going to Nashville. So I was like kind of suffering from anxiety. When I got in Nashville, I like, landed and I made this mind shift and I was like fully present. But when I came back, all the things that I was anxious about were just like sitting on my doorstep. Like, hi, like that stack of mail when you come back from vacation that you have to go through. But it was like my anxiety. And it was just like piled up, like, we're still here, bitch. And so I like just had a hard time, like getting through last week. And then I felt really run down. And I feel so much better this week. And it's almost like we were talking about, you have to go through the negatives to appreciate the positives. Yeah. Like I feel so good this week and I'm just happy and I'm grateful because I was like, yeah, last week was shit, but I made it through. Here we are. How was your week?
My week was good. I have to say real quick, just I remember on the podcast last week, here's the thing about Britton, you guys. She is so strong. She just,
oh my God, no.
Yes, absolutely. She keeps it all inside. Like yesterday we were having a phone call and I was like, yo, so I know that you're not one to want to talk about it, but just know that I'm here if you're ready for it.
That was nice. Yeah, because I appreciate that.
You don't want to talk about things. And then in addition to that, I think on the podcast last week, there were 2 times where I remember consciously being like, slip it in that she needs to rest. Like slip it in that she needs
well, we sat down and you were like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, why? And you're like, oh, okay. I'm like,
yeah. Because I know you don't like to talk about things. So I was like, all right, if she says she's okay, like I'm just going to
No, I think I was just like burnt and so exhausted and sick.
There's also something to be said about the fact that when you come back from a vacation, I'm not well. Like I'm tired. I just exerted, especially when you're with family. Like I love my family more than anything in the entire universe. And I just want to be with them all the time, but they drain the shit out of me.
It's like you need a vacation from your vacation.
Yeah. Right. So it almost like you need a day just by yourself to like, especially for me, just to get my energy right again. Cause I'm just like, I've just absorbed everybody else's shit.
I think we just need to like schedule that in. Like you come back from vacation, I like make that normal.
Yeah.
Like you need a day to just unpack, do laundry.
Yeah.
Freaking, yeah.
Be alone.
Right.
Normalize a vacation day after vacation.
Yes. I'll advocate for that.
Build that in. But yeah, my week last week was great. I had some really interesting therapy experiences last week. So I have therapy on Wednesdays and we like, it's always the week that you think is going to be just like chill vibes. I was like, I'm healed. I'm doing good. Like things are great.
The second you think you're on track, it turns out you're not.
Yeah. And then my therapist was like, childhood trauma. And I was like, cool. Here we go.
You're all, I guess we'll uncover that. Just dust it off. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was like, it wasn't rough. It was like honestly enlightening because of a lot of the things that I do and the way that I act. I actually, because I am very avoidant in situations, but overall, when it comes to especially men, I'm anxious. Like I have an anxious attachment style, turns out, according to my therapist. Oh, which I didn't realize. So with women, I'm very avoidant because that, you know, and then with men, I like just expect them to like never show up or like to let me down or anything like that. So
you far, like prepare yourself for
the worst case. To be fair, that has been true with my significant others up until now. However,
thanks for reinforcing that, assholes.
Yeah.
God.
However, I would say that like we have 2 men in the room right now who have yet to let me down and always respond to my text messages. So I'm feeling really good about that.
God. Yeah, we have some gems in the room.
We do have some gems in the room. So I don't want to speak for all men. I just keep picking the wrong ones.
Well, yeah,
but that's not the point. Also, the point is that I have a tendency to take care of people. So my mom went on her birthday weekend without me this weekend. And people are like, so she's an adult.
Well, didn't you not want to go?
Okay, so I didn't want to go, but I have a tendency to be really afraid. Like, not afraid. It's just that like my mom, when she's with her sisters, has the time of her life, which I love so much. But normally somebody needs to be there to make sure that like nobody falls off a curb and cuts their face open.
You're like their handler.
I become their handler. And if it's not me, in the past, it was my dad. And now my dad's like, okay, you're old enough, so it's your responsibility. So my cousins were there. Like everybody was there. I was actually bummed I didn't end up going, but like I had to work. And so all of my cousins were there too. And I was getting like videos and they got my mom a cake and she just like looked like she was having so much fun. So I just...
FOMO.
It's FOMO, but I'm just so happy for her.
Yes.
Like
she's the most deserving.
She is the most deserving woman in the world. And for her to be able to spend time with her relatives and like for them to just celebrate her. And we have been kind of like, listen, this will be the last and then we'll move on to the next thing and we can get into the interview with Amy. But losing my grandparents was the hardest thing I've ever experienced in my entire life.
Back
to back 9 weeks. We lost an entire generation. It has brought not only my immediate family together, but my extended family together. Like even on my papa's brother's side of the family, all of those siblings and cousins and relatives super close together. Like we never have been before. So I just am, while it is so sad, it also is just like such a joy to me. Like it just makes me so happy to see. And so then to see that maybe my mom lost her parents, but she gained like, and we're Italian. So there's like, just this weekend, there were like 15 and that was just like very tight knit group of people.
I love that. Yes.
It just makes me really happy. And that I don't have to be there to babysit everybody makes me feel like
Right.
maybe I'm not.
Well, it's finding the positive in the negative situation.
Yeah.
And also letting,
It just makes me, I'm just glad and happy. So with that being said, things that we learn a lot on this episode. First and foremost, how to say, go ahead.
No, I didn't practice before this. I still am not confident in
I know
this.
how to say cryo. I want to
have
be
a pronunciation problem.
And
like
to be
full
fair-
blown, like you'll hear it throughout the shows. Like
to be fair to Britton, cryo, Kygo. Well, Kygo was kind of like, she was just like, fuck it. And then started saying Kygo, but Cairo and cryo are super close to each other. So
except for Cairo is a place in Africa.
also,
So
it is
that is,
chiropractic, like where you get your back.
so
cracked.
that is a problem as well. It's in Africa, right? Why are you laughing?
MD can.
Okay. Thank
Yeah.
God. Thank God. I was like, did I screw that up as well? God, I just don't trust myself right now. This is bad going into an
Oh my God. I love you so much. With that being said, here's a bunch of lessons. Enjoy, you guys.
So, Britt, because this is in your wheelhouse, why the Automobile Museum?
I mean, for me, it's about the cars all day long. I love cars. I like old cars, new cars, all the things. For me, the fact that they have the DeLorean here and the Batmobile in the same room is like, it makes my heart happy. So that's why for me, but I think for like someone like us, like doing things with all of our friends, like 160 of our close friends could go to the theater.
In any movie that you want, they have so many things to offer. The space camp for your kids, if you like need a little break or you want to look at the cars. Reno's just really lucky to have it. It's one of the biggest collections, I think, in the country, which is awesome.
It's so cool. And the fact that it's here in the biggest little city is like the coolest thing ever. So yeah, grab a bottle of tequila and come on into the theater.
Yes, Back to the Future.
Get all your friends, 160 of them, so the whole town of Reno.
So everyone you know.
And watch a movie.
Yep.
You can find tickets at the automuseum.org.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's where you go get your tickets.
Perfect.
Fun day.
So, Britt, why intentional candles for mental health?
Because building healthy habits around your intentions can have a positive impact on not only your mental health, but your overall productivity. I wanted to create a premium non-toxic candle that reminded my customers that life is complex and we can live in the and space. Talking about mental health and mental illness doesn't always have to be scary or depressing. Sometimes it can be fun and enlightening. We are wildly unique and expansive creatures, as we've talked about on the podcast before, and we can be many things in a day. And sometimes we just need to light a candle to remind ourselves who the fuck we are and what we are capable of.
I 100% agree with that. Plus, your candles smell so good and they fill up my whole house. I hear you have something special for our listeners.
I do. I have a little promo for our bees. Y'all can head to havenandflux.com and use code BOB20 at checkout to get 20% off your order. I hope y'all enjoy.
I am so excited to have what I consider Wonder Woman here today. Amy is the current owner of Breathe Bar, a massage, sauna, cryotherapy, fitness studio located in Midtown. And you are about to celebrate your 3rd year in business, which is so exciting and a huge accomplishment. I'm a big fan of all the services there, but most specifically the cryotherapy. And Britt, have I shown you my before and after pictures?
I saw it before we were friends on Amy's website or Instagram.
Gosh. They are mind blowing. It is so insane. I love that. Reminds me I need to get back in there and get frozen up. Amy,
cryo love.
Yeah, seriously, it feels so good. Amy's lived in Reno since the 7th grade, and before that, she lived in Carson and Tahoe. Gotta love a native Nevadan.
Love that.
She's owned 3 businesses in Reno over the years, and I'm sure you've heard of all of them: Soul Space, Escape Reno, and now Breathe Bar. Needless to say, the woman is a business pro, and anytime I get the chance to talk with her, I try to soak in all of her knowledge. Amy is that person that you just feel good around. She's raw and genuine, tells you what she thinks, and is very confident. I feel like I told you one time that it was like so refreshing to be around you because you just have this underlying confidence, and I never have to like wonder where you stand, which is really nice. There's no guessing game with Amy. On top of that, she's very kind, and she goes out of her way to enhance her community anytime she can. She is a mother to a beautiful 7th grader named Chloe,
who's also a volleyball player. Shout out to volleyball players all around Reno, Nevada.
And she's raising a beautiful, young, smart girl. Amy, we are so excited to have you here. Thank you for giving us an hour of your time. Let's get into it so we can share your business and inspire everyone with just the person that you are.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that intro.
Yes, it's true. It's, I mean, it's really
don't
true.
Cry, don't cry.
No, I know we make people cry on this podcast, so we apologize for that in advance. And the tissues are very far from us in this
We
moment,
don't make them.
We're just trying to lift people up.
Yeah.
If they get sad.
Well, it's hard for people to talk about themselves. And that's what we've learned. I mean, it's uncomfortable for us to
totally.
Like, I could never write something about, like, you couldn't write that about yourself.
No.
Right. But so it makes people uncomfortable, but just, you know, we always say brag a little.
Yeah.
All right.
And I just have to say that I met Amy when I first started Haven and Flux. I went in, I was having serious shoulder issues, went in to get a massage. And next thing I knew, she was my first private label candle.
Oh my
gosh. That I
gosh.
had made.
They are
I was your
epic.
first?
Oh.
And we did these like beautiful, and she was like so cool about it. And like, we got to sit down and do all the scents and everything like that. So she has like a Breathe candle, and it's got like her logo on it. And we did like a vinyl die cut. It like ended up being pretty cool. Yeah. And I was really stoked on it. So yeah, she's my first private label.
Those candles. They burn when I get my cryo. You should do that, by the way.
The cryo?
Yeah.
I thought you were saying Cairo this whole time.
I probably was mispronouncing it.
She always calls it Cairo, and I love it. I just let her.
I just like, I feel like it's like Kygo. Like the
exactly. And Kygo always makes you happy.
Right.
So it's like,
okay, sorry. But like people out there, just like go on her website and just look it up for yourself. I don't fucking know.
I mean, even
even
the befores and afters of because I went to the launch of the cryo, and like watching live the before and afters of like, what is the thing that you do where you're rolling it? It's wood like rolling. The ancient wood rolling.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Like slims out your sides, like which my obliques would die right now if that happened. I just like had pain thinking of that, but like
it's lymphatic. It's truly under our skin. We carry that toxin. Yeah. And if you're not getting in there and releasing it, it just gets stuck there.
Oh my God.
So that's what the wood therapy is good for.
I'm all about releasing toxicity right now. So I need to come through. I'm coming through.
Just be prepared like after to feel like shit.
Inside. Yeah.
Like it's like a 24-hour after your body's like, what just happened? I just been injected with more toxin, but your body's going to get rid of it. So works out.
Okay. I like this.
Want to get into our first question?
Let's do it. Yeah. Can you tell us what you did before you started Breathe Bar? I know we touched on a couple things, but.
So I've been a massage therapist for 20 years. And in that process, just knowing that I wanted to help people with their bodies, I incorporated personal training too. So 15 years personal, 20 years massage. So with that came a lot of opportunity to come at people differently with a little bit less force and less like you have to do it this way. Yeah. It's like, let's address your body first. Let's make sure that you're not in pain. Mm-hmm. Let's make sure that the workouts are working out for you, that it's realistic. Mm-hmm. And moving forward with that, I just saw this like beauty of the two pieces combined together. Yeah. That I think now it's like, it's magic. Yeah. And I took a break from it because I closed Soul Space in 2019. And now I'm just now kind of touching base on the fitness again. And I realized that that's where the bread and butter is.
So yeah, didn't you just open Habit? Did I get that right?
Yeah. So I partnered with Carrie Keidel. She's amazing. She's same background as me, essentially. Okay. Massage therapy and personal training. And she just kind of motivated me to bring the fitness back because she's so ready for it. Like she's just amped for it. And I'm kind of on the other end of that where I'm really enjoying the cryo and really just like diving in. I know I'm going to laugh every time I say that. Really diving into my therapist, my massage therapist at Breathe Bar are just killing it right now. They're just helping so many people. So I'm diving into that. But now the fitness piece, so Habit is inside of Breathe Bar, which is a little confusing to people. But
so Breathe Bar still offers almost every service that you had before. You just
minus the naps. Okay. So I started Breathe Bar for IV hydration, which is talking like years ago. And that was a very interesting process of what happened with that.
But you're still in business because you adapted.
I adapted.
We love that.
I mean, I think the word pivot is everyone hates it now.
Yeah.
But in the beginning, we're like, oh, I just learned how to pivot. And now it's like, do not say that word. But whatever you do not say that word.
That's the law of business. Like, just that stupid word.
Yeah.
It's so true. It's so true. So I have
Ross says it best. Do you guys watch Friends?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
I know. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
You're like, Amy, do you watch Friends?
Well, no one reacted. Did I mispronounce that too?
No.
You're so cute.
Oh my God.
Okay. So back to Habit and Breathe Bar. So kind of where if you haven't been to Breathe Bar, it is so beautiful inside. And like, you just feel good the second that you step inside of Breathe. Like the mural on the wall, everything is so cool. So I haven't been there since Habit. I'm sad to say that, but
you need to come in.
I do. So kind of explain what it looks like.
So we used to have the nap chairs and a couch in the back. So it was all very relaxing, more feeling in that main area. I did realize after 2+ years that Pinion being downstairs is a very, very loud place.
An anti-nap place.
And it's not a lot of, insulation in between the two. So literally it's like anytime I really wanted someone to go in there and get a scalp massage or get a nap, it was so loud. I would like try putting headphones on them and they're just like, this is awkward. I can't. Now I have no, idea of what's going on around me. I can't close my eyes. I can't sleep. So it got pivoted out.
Nice. Just
shoved it out. But it's still, Breathe Bar still encompasses health and wellness and focusing on self-care and making sure that is your number one. Massage, sauna, cryo, all of the things are helping us feel better physically, but also I think the ad for cryo, there's a level of vanity that we as human beings, we don't want to attach ourselves completely to, but there is a level of it that it evens out my circle. It evens that out for me.
We talk about that all the time where like, as much as you don't want to admit that the way that you look matters, it does. And it matters to you the most.
Well, turns out.
It's how you feel. And if you can do something like cryo that's going to make you feel better about yourself, like by all means, do it. Just because somebody else doesn't do it doesn't mean it's bad. It's just different from what you are choosing to do. So,
and if you think about it, we all kind of provide a different aspect of self-care. I mean, obviously you do the physical, you do mental with your candles and like environmental. And then I provide that with clothing and making yourself feel better through clothing. So, and like ours is kind of more towards our appearance, but yours, I mean, it's the holistic person that we're catering to, right?
And I'll tell you what, like I went to this for a while, like, cause I have a really bad shoulder and she beat the shit out of me in the best way possible. That's the best my shoulder has ever felt in my life was when she was working on it. I mean, just like stretching everything. And I even think because I was able to get back into working out because of the rehab that she had done on my shoulder.
Yeah. All of my therapists are very well trained.
Yeah.
And if they don't know something, they literally will stop what they're doing and they'll call me and ask me.
I love that.
So there's no ego there. There's no who's better. It's everyone is there to help Reno.
Right.
Like we want to be the place that if your back is hurting and you can't get into a chiropractor, or let's not go to a doctor and have him tell you that you just, need to
cortisone shot,
get a shot, take a pill, just go lose weight. It's like, there's so much more to it and it can be really like factored in and palpable. Like if a therapist says to you, these are the stretches you need to do, you're going to feel better. And then they go do it and then they feel better.
Yeah.
They're going to continue to come back.
Right.
Because that's in my 20 years of massage therapy, I treat it like medical in a weird way.
Yeah. No,
it's like everything.
I appreciate
all encompassing.
Okay. So on to the next question because we've only been through one.
Oh, yeah.
What is one thing that you hope you can leave your clients with?
I think I touched on it as much as I could earlier, but the realistic lifestyle for me is huge. It's the most important part because there's so many layers of health, wellness, mental, physical that there are people doing on social media that is not normal and it's not right. And it's not going to produce a healthy body. It's going to produce what is filtered and what looks like is healthy. So for us, at Breathe Bar all the time, but in Soul Space, that was our primary focus is let's work on your mental. Let's get you doing things that feel good for your body and that are realistic, that you can wake up every day and continue to do. And guess what? If you wake up and you don't do it, who fucking cares?
Right.
Like, I don't care. Like, did you have a good day? Yeah, I had a great day. Good.
That's what matters.
Like you're living your life healthfully and happily. I'm not going to be the one to tell you that I'm mad at you because you ate a piece of pizza.
There's so much stress around like what we're supposed to be eating, what we're supposed to be doing, all these supposed to's. And it's like, what do you want to do?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, your health and your fitness are very important to you. But like what people don't realize, and we talk about working out all the time on this podcast, Brittany and I don't work out because we're trying to get like a fit body. Like I work out because if I don't work out, my brain is like retarded for the rest of the day. Yeah. So, and I know that that's the case for me. And I think for you, what I'm hearing you say is that like, this is just such an opportunity to take it in a way that makes the most sense to the individual person. We're all unique. And we talk about that a lot too.
Sure.
It's not going to be
different things work for different people.
Right.
So, when you find out what works for you, do that.
Right.
And if you need a break, take a break.
Yeah. Britton, tell us what BLFT is all about because it's my favorite place to shop.
The Biggest Little Fashion Truck is a family-owned and operated boutique on wheels. We got started 5 years ago because I had this deep desire to make women feel more confident. And I found out that one of the many ways you can enhance your confidence was through clothing. Hence our why, confidence through clothing.
We love some confidence in our lives.
We pride ourselves in bringing back that old school expertise in customer service by providing an experience, whether it be at our pop-up events around town.
We love the pop-up events. I'm at those with her all the time and they are fire.
Or we have a storefront, the Babe Cave. We just want each and every babe to feel better and be ready to be seen after shopping with us. Shop us online at the Babe Cave or our pop-up events at local businesses around town. We can't wait to see you. And a little something special we have for you. Use promo code BOB20 for 20% off your purchase online.
Hell yeah, I'm gonna be shopping today.
Well, I can say from personal experience that I've never left Breathe Bar feeling worse. I've always walked out feeling good. 10 times better.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So if you need to pick me up in your day, definitely. I mean, I've gotten a massage there and then, that one treatment.
That cryo thing that you get done.
The Kygo.
The Kygo. We should just call it Kygo. Kygo. I'm going to get a Kygo treatment.
So
I'm going to Kygo my thighs later.
My business partner for Habit loves Kygo, and Kygo is always playing now. So I'll explain that a little bit. Habit is a gym, but we don't do gym noises during the day when there's massage.
Yeah.
So it's a morning and evening stuff and weekends. But she always has Kygo playing. And it always makes us so happy. We walk in, we're like, Kygo. So it makes sense, Britt. It does. It makes sense.
Okay, guys.
It's the place you go for Kygo, whether you're working out or whether you're down.
Yeah. All the things.
Either way. God. So you can sign up for Habit classes through your website?
Habit Reno. So it's a different website, classes and personal training. You can enter in all of your information and we'll call you, but that's on Habit Reno and that is separate from
We
Let's go.
Need to go to a class. I don't know why we haven't yet.
I know.
Probably because I'm scared.
And then Ralph, we have Ralph coming back, my Soul Space Ralph. We just hired on at Habit. So he's teaching 2 classes in the mornings.
Oh my gosh, how cool. Yeah. Don't you love when old relationships? Yeah. Everyone wants to work for you because you're amazing.
I mean, seriously.
Thank you.
Joy of my life. What is something, now that we've told you how great you are, what is something you wish you were better at?
Thank you. I think this is an interesting one for me because I want to embrace the struggle better.
Yeah.
I feel like once I hit struggle mode, like my life is over, done. Like, and I've never said, I only said it once, and it was March 18th of 2020. I was like, I don't know if we're ever going to come back from this. You know, like that was just a layer of a business owner standpoint that I think is acceptable now that I look back on that I said that. So I've never said that again, but I will say that in the hard times when that you got to dig to really find the good, I don't embrace it. I just pout. Yeah. And I'm like, I hate this. Yeah. I hate this struggle. I hate waking up at 2:00 in the morning stressed. I hate, you know, and there are different layers of waking up in the middle of the night. I know we've talked about a lot of that, you know, important things that you're there for, but you can feel it when it's anxiety, and you can feel it when it's just pure stress. Yeah. And I don't work well through that. I suffer.
It's so hard because I feel that alongside you, as far as like when there's not a clear view of the future, like there's some days where you're like, this is where I'm going, this is what I'm doing, and everything kind of clicks and makes sense. And there's other days or weeks or months where you're just kind of like, I don't know what's next. And that's kind of what I was getting at earlier today when I was talking to you guys, like just do the next best thing and also relinquish that kind of, I don't know, will to control everything. Yeah. Yeah. You know, once you do that, letting go and just releasing that. Right. And like, you can control what you can control. We don't know what's going to happen tonight. We don't know what's going to happen when we leave here, you know? So it's kind of like taking some pressure off. Because I think as business owners, we think we can like control everything and change the world every single day. Turns out you can't.
Turns out you can't. Yeah. But also hearing you say that, I feel like everyone like handles stress differently. So just to hear someone that you admired to say that, like, it's okay if you're stressed. It's okay if you don't know the answer to the next day of what that's going to be. Just give yourself some grace. Sit back for a second, process through it. And then when you get up the next morning, let's dissolve a little of that just anxiety to the point that you wake up and you're like, I'm just gonna do.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here. I like relate to this so much because I've been in it recently. I've been living in it for, I feel like all of 2021 was just me living in like, you feel bad for yourself. I'm like, here we go again. Like, when is it ever going to get easier? How is this really my life? Like, is this going to be, we got to do this again? Like, I got to climb up. I mean, we talked about it before, but like unhitching the wagon or like whatever the fuck is behind you. But it just is like, it's hard when you have the things in the moment that are not getting easier and you know you're going to have to push through them. Like, you can't hitch that trailer or wagon or whatever you want to call it. You have to keep pushing through, and there's a weight there. And I mean, I haven't slept in the last week, and it's been between the freaking people in my alley and
oh God.
And also just waking up.
Damn alley.
Well, between 1 and 3, I'm up every day. Every day. My dad yesterday, he's an entrepreneur. He was like, just get up and start working. I'm like, I can't even like push through the anxiety that I feel. Like, it's overwhelming.
And it doesn't go away because even with like our coming off our best year yet, scaling is hard. Yeah. Like 2020, we had to claw our way through and get so creative just to make it. 2021 was a whole different story, but equally as stressful as far as like, I was still in fight or flight the entire year. Like, and I'm like, why is this happening? Scaling is hard. It's good. It's what you wanted. It's where you like work to be, but it's still hard.
Yep.
So I guess that's just business.
We grow and we're learning about ourselves. We're learning how we got through that.
Yeah. Right.
And once we get that answer, it's like jot it down and keep it on a really fresh thing that you're looking at. I remember listening to, I don't remember which one it was that you were saying that you write your stuff down on a Post-it note. I love that. And it actually made me start doing that since you said that, because it was like, that's so true. I write it down in this book that I don't even know where that thing ends up. But like, if I'm just constantly looking at my to-dos, my what's important today, you know, on all of those layers, but you learn something about yourself. And then, you know, the next time you hit that struggle and you don't want to embrace it, you're like, no, okay, I made it through the last one.
Yes, it's empowering. And then you start betting on yourself. You're like, I got this. Yeah. Post-it notes saved my life. The truck actually started on a Post-it note in my cubicle when I was working for the Nevada Athletic Department. I just wrote like, build fashion empire. And I didn't know what that meant. And then before that, I was like, then there was another one that said like, buy fashion truck, do that. And like, and then once I quit that job and actually bought a fashion truck and everything. I had them on my refrigerator in our apartment and all the clothes was in there. You guys, I would carry the clothes up 2 flights of stairs. It was just such a disaster. Poor John. God bless him. But yeah, I still have those original Post-it notes.
You'd walk by those Post-it notes and you're like, but
do it.
Thank
yeah,
you.
right.
You know?
Exactly. Things get hard in business. What keeps you going? What is your why?
Well, I mean, I don't want to sound cliche, but daughter.
I love that answer. So I was kind of hoping you would say that.
Yeah. I mean, she is at a very formidable age right now, and she has only known me to be an entrepreneur. I've never had a job. That's not true. I did have one little blip of a job where I had a boss and I went in and I sat down at a desk, but it was a short little thing. And I just needed some break from my doing massage for so long. And it was a beautiful experience. I ended up learning so much from it. But Chloe has only known me as waking up in the morning, whether it's 4 a.m. or 10 a.m., but my feet hitting the ground and taking off as someone that has to provide for her by myself because of my passion.
Yeah.
So it's like, how do I put my passion together to show my daughter that I'm doing what I love, that I hope other people love? So she sees that. And back when she used to talk to me, she doesn't talk to me very much anymore. It's
She's
that
a teenager.
age.
So classic.
I'm just like, are you in the house? Where are you? Are you hiding from me? But when she used to talk to me, she would tell me about businesses that she wanted to open.
That's
and it was
so
just
cool.
all these really cool little things. Like she wanted to make clothing for dogs. And like, it was like 3 years ago, but she had a name for the business. She was drawing out what all of the clothing looked like. And I just sat there and was like, you know, without like jumping
You're
around.
like, it's working.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, so this is her passion. So she sees that she could go work for someone, which I'm not saying is a bad thing to do.
No.
But when I was 18, I told myself I would never work for someone. And I haven't essentially.
Wow.
So I really hope that she sees my hustle. You know, it's a hustle.
I mean, honestly, and I'm so inspired by you all the time. And you've definitely I'm like gonna cry. Like, I don't know what's happening right now to my body or my mind.
We make people cry on the podcast.
Joke's on me.
I think you said that.
Whoopsies. No, because growing up, my dad was an entrepreneur, and him and I had this conversation the other day. Like, you look as a child of an entrepreneur, things aren't always stable in the household. Like they're just not. But it doesn't matter because my dad failed at businesses and he succeeded at businesses. And regardless, he got up every day and he fought for it and he always made sure to provide for us. And so that, and it also taught me that like I could do it too, that there were no limitations on anything that I wanted to do. And it's such a powerful thing. And I think and the reason I was tearing up is because when I was going through a very hard time, you were going through hard things as well. And we sat down together and that was like a really important thing to me. And just like that conversation that we had that day was very impactful to me. And just thinking of like, I can't imagine being your daughter and having the opportunity to like learn from you, because it's so much more powerful when you see a woman do it versus when you see a man do it. I mean, my dad always treated me like a guy. So I think I kind of just like stepped into that space, but it is really powerful. And also just because I've been watching your daughter, she's playing on all of the courts that I played on. So it's really
so
triggering me like in a really happy way to see her out there doing that. And she's on a club, right? Is that what I'm saying? She's on club.
No, she's at Swope. Okay. Yeah, so she's on the volleyball team at Swope, and it's her first time playing on a volleyball team, and she's really doing well.
That's
and
awesome.
She's admittedly lazy. She says it.
Who's not?
She's like, I'm lazy, Mom.
It's human nature.
But she's a pure athlete. So I'm like, can we try? Can we just see if you like it? And you know, she cried the whole way home yesterday because they lost and they haven't won yet. And it's fine. It's fine. It's not about that.
You're gonna
but
win.
I'm like, oh, I see these tears and I understand now what that means. That's you loving this.
Yeah.
Like, that's
competitive.
you feeling that layer of athletics that we all, when I say we all, I mean, I have a crew of the most amazing humans in my life who have been there for me and Chloe. And this is what we've all wanted for her is to feel what she's feeling in volleyball.
There's no better feeling in the world than being a part of a team that has to function together. I mean, I know Britton has softball, but volleyball for me, it was like, you literally can't succeed unless y'all run through the plays. Like there is no, if she does not set the ball to me, there will not be a kill. And like, that's the way that it goes. And so it is really exciting to hear that she's like crying after the sport, because it's sad, but it's also like, well, she's there. She's competitive.
I was like, all right. I wasn't
so
like, oh,
cool.
I'm so sorry. I was like, here's a muffin. Like, eat.
But also like losing sucks.
Yeah.
There's no getting around it. But she is so lucky to have you. And I was just thinking about you providing that example for her. Not only are you teaching her that she can like follow her dreams and believe in something so much that you can start a business and provide a life, you're showing her that she's in control of her life. And she can make decisions. If she's unhappy in some aspect of her life, she can make decisions and change it. And that is invaluable, I think.
And it might not be easy, but with hard work, you can get through anything. Like all she has to do is work harder to be better at volleyball. And that's
if you're unhappy in a situation, you know, assess it and then change it.
Sure. And she's actually been asking a lot of questions about that lately. You know, just friends, they're kind of going through some, it's just that age.
Totally.
You could not pay me to go back to 7th grade.
Oh my gosh. And especially with social media right now, I can't even imagine.
No. Everything's TikTok. But I mean, it is what it is. But she's doing great at navigating that. And she's asking me the questions. So when I get to answer those questions, I'm like, yes, let's sit down.
You're a cool mom.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I cuss a lot.
Good.
You're authentic.
Turns out in real life, we swear.
Like, Mom, another F-bomb. Like, well, you know, I had to prove a point.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to say, damn it.
I'm passionate.
Okay. We have some rapid fire questions for you.
All right. Well, if you could go back, would you do it again?
Yes.
I love that.
How is that?
I love everybody who answers that question is like, fuck yeah.
Fuck yes. Only I would do a lot different things, but I would do all of it over, every single thing.
Well, that leads us to our next question.
If you could do anything else, what would you do?
I'd be an interior designer because I just love that layer of businesses. So
that is interesting that you say that, because your space is one of the best design spaces I've ever seen. And I remember telling Sid that when because I was the first appointment that I went there, and she was like, yeah, Amy's like really gifted in interior design.
That's nice to hear. Thank you. And I did have help with Breathe Bar from Mabel Media. They came in and painted they had all of that vision. They took my vision board and they helped me create exactly what it is today. And it's every single day that I walk in there, I just take a deep breath. I'm like,
yeah, you nailed it.
Yeah.
But I could totally see you as an interior designer. I remember when you came to my house, I was like, help. Everything is white.
I was like, it's very white. It's very white.
It's the whitest house ever.
I love a white house.
I do too.
All right, so you guys know that I live for Western wear, specifically my boots and my hat. So I want to talk a little bit about a brand new brand that is new to Reno, Nevada, and is from our beautiful babe over here. So Britton, tell us what Murdock's is.
Well, first of all, hats have been one of my truest loves since I was a kid. I swear I had a hat on in every single picture as a child. And then they quickly became a BLFT signature. We couldn't find the hat that was just perfect, and so we decided to design our own. Murdock's is a family brand that started in the great state of Nevada in the 1950s. My great-grandparents started Murdock's Western wear. Fast forward 60 years, the Murdock sisters recreate this homegrown brand by curating a hat line that embodies the spirit of Nevada. We were raised in this amazing state, and we watched a Nevadan's ability to put in a hard day's work on the ranch, followed by a hard night's play at the casinos. We pulled inspiration from the everyday beauty around us, the sunsets, Lake Tahoe, the mountains, and the forest.
I'm not going to lie, I have full body chills right now because you hit so many nails on the head just now. Like, there's nothing that screams Reno, Nevada more than family and community and a little bit of Western. So the fact that you put all of our favorite things together and then you made it all about like bringing back the roots of your family brings me so much joy. Y'all need to check out Murdock's hats. Where do you find them?
Murdock'sHatsAndApparel.com.
We love it. Go shop, y'all.
Name one high of the last year and one low.
Well, I mean, do we have to talk about COVID? But how do we not talk about COVID?
Yeah,
the high was being so supported by our community.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when people didn't know if they were going to get sick going to get a massage because they were in such a small room, they still came and they wore their mask when they had to wear their mask, and they didn't complain about it. They didn't stomp out of my business and tell me that I'm a bad human for, following directives.
Right.
And they continued to support us so well that we were supported better than we were before.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
Yeah,
That
our
is
numbers changed a lot.
That is a high and a low.
It is a high and a
That's
low.
so awesome.
Yeah, but it was such a learning piece. So yeah, I feel like I could put both of those in, but I do remember, I don't know exactly what month it was, but it was like masks again.
Yeah.
I remember that just being so dramatic for all of us because we didn't think people were going to come back. They were just over it.
Yeah.
So that was that roller coaster effect that I feel like it's leveled out now.
I just feel like really, and I don't know if you two feel this way, and I know this is not a rapid fire moment, but I just feel so grateful to our community. Like, I just want to say that, like, I feel like we are, because I'm from Southern California and not
Barf.
I know. Yeah. But I lived in Huntington Beach.
Offense. We're different.
It sucked.
Reno's different. It's special.
It's just really special here.
We've talked about it. You cannot screw people over, do bad business, and then expect to succeed in Reno.
Nope.
Which is really cool. It's just like a culture, a way of life.
Just grateful for it.
What is one way that you take care of yourself?
I feel like I'm pretty good at moderation and just living like day by day.
Mm-hmm.
Don't beat yourself up.
By day.
Minute, by second. Just being kind to myself and giving myself grace no matter what. If you wake up feeling good, take it and share it. If you wake up feeling bad, like take what you gave to someone else that felt bad.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's all about our damn mental health.
Our stupid mental health.
I
can totally see you doing this though, because you have great perspective. And like, even when problems, like things could be on fire around you, you could be like, hi, how are you?
Yeah.
And you mean it. And I'm like, the fuck, how are you?
That was really, because we were going through similar things. And I remember looking at Amy and being like, how the fuck is she doing this? Like, it's just like, she looks like an angel. And I'm over here having a meltdown.
And she's still asking you about you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, okay, cool.
Yeah. You guys are so sweet. I am a lot older than you guys though. So I get it. You know what I mean?
Like, you're just wise. I'm sure at our age you were the same.
Yeah, Sarah, it feels like an innate thing for you.
Thank you.
It's not all chaos. So what is the funniest thing that has happened in your business?
Oh my gosh. So, when you get undressed for massage, you usually take off all of your clothes, and just a gal randomly must have forgotten to put her underwear on. I don't know, like if she just maybe lost them, but she left them in the room. And my therapist at that time when she was cleaning the room, she says to this day that she doesn't really understand like what happened, but her next client that was coming in was a male. And she found the little thong underwear and she set them on top of his clothes.
She thought they were his.
Oh my God.
And she was mortified. She called me and she told me what happened. And she's like, I don't know how to ever return from this with him. Like, he is such an amazing community leader. Like,
oh my God. Of course it happens to the worst person.
Like the best person, but the worst person.
Anything?
He didn't ever say anything. He's just that guy that wouldn't.
He's just like, the fuck?
But he legitimately, I'm sure, like if, we had a fly in the room, he probably picked up those underwear like, hey, these aren't mine.
Is she hitting on me?
I'm going to go ahead and put these back on the ground where they probably came from.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was
oh
funny.
my gosh. What is your sign?
I'm a Gemini.
Ooh.
I got 2. Yeah. I mean, and it's fine. They always say dual personality, but I will embrace that because there are times when I kill it in business and life. And there are times when I'm really happy that it's overcast on a Sunday and I don't have to leave my house and I get to just kind of go within.
Yeah.
So I look at that as my two layers. I'm either very outward or I'm very inward.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with a Gemini. I have no issues with that. I mean, I'm trying to date a Gemini.
Good, because there's a ton of
Gemini
them.
men are different than Gemini women though.
Really?
Yeah, they're psycho. G-Eazy is a Gemini. That was my joke, but Fucked it up.
So is Tupac.
Oh, I would not date Tupac, but for other reasons. I don't like nose
Stevie
rings
Nicks.
on guys.
Oh.
That's the reason why
this
you
is
wouldn't date
perfect talk.
I really don't like nose rings on guys. Yeah.
I mean,
And wasn't he short?
But it's Tupac.
He was short.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
yeah. I mean, when you weigh it
does.
out, I'm still in.
Yeah.
With that being said, 10 out of 10 still would.
Yeah.
Who is your celeb crush since we're on this?
So as we were talking earlier, I mean, Bradley Cooper, 100%, all day long, every day, forever, for the rest of my life. I just adore that man.
10 out of
I just love him.
Yes.
And I love, this is what got me with Bradley Cooper when he did the movie with Lady Gaga. When I'm drawing a blank on the name of that movie.
A Star Was Born.
Yeah.
A Star.
Thank you. A
Stars.
Star is born.
Something about stars.
Shallow.
So
Pretty much
Shallow.
is what we took away from that.
yeah. So he told her when they started filming that, she told him that she wanted him to sing all of his songs. And he told her that only if she didn't wear makeup. So throughout the entire movie, unless she's like in that character of when she gets famous, she doesn't wear a stick of makeup.
Oh my
Nothing.
gosh.
She wears none because they made a pact about that.
She must have had so much Kygo because her skin is fire.
Her skin is fire.
That is the best. You fucking high five. You nailed that just
we
now.
made this a thing. We made Kygo a thing. But I love that about him.
Yeah.
I love that he's like, you're naturally beautiful. And she's
Yeah.
like, you can naturally sing. And he's like, cool.
And when
love
you
that.
strip it down, like
Yeah.
there's how empowering for both
Yeah.
of them. And like, raw, that's so cool.
Yeah. And that's why I think we're not gonna
Aside
get
from
into
his
pop
hair
culture,
flow, I just watched The Hangover, like a short segment of The Hangover, and like, God, he's so
but
hot.
he's just, it's,
Ugh. Yeah.
I know. But Jason Sudeikis, because I love Jason Sudeikis. I've always loved him. But the whole Ted Lasso thing, I know that he's not Ted Lasso.
But in your mind, he is.
In my mind, he kind of is. And I just like, every time I see him, I just hear Ted Lasso. And one day you're going to watch it.
Yeah.
I'll watch it. I'll watch it.
We should
this
get
week.
together
Oh,
and
you
have like a
haven't
watch
watched it?
party.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do a movie
Yeah.
night.
Okay. What is
You're
your
going to be like a movie week,
That's
you
fine.
guys? Okay.
That's fine.
We
can
need it,
binge
honestly.
Yeah, we can binge it. What
Okay.
is your hype song right now?
Oh, geez. It's Kygo.
Is it really? Which one? I love Kygo. It is. Everything now is Kygo from here on out. The intro song is now changed to a Kygo song.
Yes.
I like it.
If we can get the rights to that.
I think that we should.
Okay.
Christian can do magical things you don't understand.
Okay.
For one episode and one episode only, we go Kygo.
Okay. I mean, we have
I love
to.
this. I
We
love
have
this.
to.
I love where this is headed.
The Broken Glass song by him is like one of my favorite songs. Dancing on Broken Glass.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Just gets ya.
Gets you in your feels.
You told me one time you loved the Elton John Dua Lipa song.
I do love that
Yes,
song.
That's a great song.
Yeah.
You know why I love that song? Because I remember listening to that song when I was probably in 7th grade.
Yeah.
Dating
it's
myself
such a
on a
feel-good.
CD. And it was like in a little boom box, and I would just listen to it over and over. And now that it has Dua Lipa in it, and it has a totally different feel, like it takes me back, but it also motivates me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really
That's cool. I love that song too. When you sent me that, I listened to it.
I just had a
nonstop.
flashback. Mine was Heartbreaker. Like I just had a full with the
Oh.
boombox Heartbreaker by Mariah Carey. I'll tell that story on another time. I told it to MD on the way on in here. That needs to be an offer.
That's a really great playlist, though. If you just go to Pandora and you do Heartbreaker playlist,
Oh, it's good.
Oh, it kills it.
Okay.
Ooh.
I'm doing it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm like on it right now because Valentine's Day is coming up and I love a Valentine. Never mind. Well, fuck it.
She makes really good playlists. You should follow her on Spotify.
We have a Bob playlist as well. It's mostly
Yeah.
country though.
Okay.
And like old R&B and hip hop.
Okay.
Like Big E, and there's
I'm
no
here for
Tupac on there. But can make that happen.
If you could give one piece of advice to someone who is just starting out, what would it be?
Establish boundaries.
That's what we're talking about next pod. So this is like music to our ears.
Establish boundaries. Oh my gosh.
With what? Business or relationships or family?
Everything.
Okay.
Every piece of
I'm
your
sweating.
life, you have to establish boundaries, and you have to, this is a big one. And I actually had this thought this morning. You have to prepare for growth when you start a business, because I legitimately have never opened a business preparing for growth. I've always opened a business preparing for the next day,
Surviving.
just getting by. And in the past year, I've figured out how to prepare for growth. And I may not have done it knowingly, but that's what I was preparing myself for. But I think back on all of the times I wish I would have already had that set in my mind. When you have that fresh business mindset and you want to start a business, call me.
Oh my gosh.
Because I love that. Like, I love creating businesses. I love doing the physicality of it, what it smells like, what it looks like, all of those things. But I can do aesthetic all day long. But if I'm not preparing for growth, I'm going to learn it way too long. I'm going to learn it. It's going to be too late.
I'm in that right now.
Like, when I learn that.
And that's why I'm sitting here and I'm like, I need to sit with Amy, because like I'm in a weird stage right now where it's like growth is happening and I don't know how to adjust to it. I have the branding. It's great. Like, everybody loves the branding. The aesthetic is great, but I'm working on my boundaries right now with people. And also that's propelling me forward in growth. And then I don't know how to
Delegate.
grow.
It's like such a
Delegate.
fine line
To
between
Delegate.
right. Exactly.
But you have to find someone to delegate.
And it's hard when you're the person that, like, we've talked about this, like having a bird's eye view of the business. It's hard when you're boots on the ground in the business too. So it's finding that balance.
Yep.
You almost need someone to come in that you trust to say, okay, this is where you could pull strings here, change.
Yep.
Because it's really hard when you're in the day in, day out, putting out fires.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
If you're the
You get
person
lost
putting
in
it,
that.
right. And
You don't see past it.
right. So yeah, delegating. But if you don't have someone to delegate to, because Britt's in year one.
Yeah. You just stay up
Yeah.
at 3 a.m. every morning.
Right.
But you also have to learn how to healthfully do that.
Right.
So, and sleep, like this, that's the thing. Like, when I say delegate, like, I'm going to delegate to myself to make sure that I get a solid 8 hours of sleep.
Yep.
So I know tomorrow I'm going to be the best I can be if I only have myself to call on.
Yep.
Right.
So like
Strategy.
Strategy.
Yeah.
Like, you've got to look at your healthfulness, your wellness
Yep.
of you until you can have someone to delegate to.
Right.
Yeah.
And then
As
once
a
you
whole.
do, you're like, okay, cool. Cause I'm still going to make sure that I'm healthy and I'm doing all of these things
Right.
over here. But I also have this person to help me now. And even
Yeah.
if that's a friend,
Right.
Yeah.
like, we forget how much our friends want to support us in this business.
Yeah. I mean, and I got lucky with super amazing neighbors because they're all like, we'll come over and ship while you're out of town.
I'm just dreaming of a day that I have an assistant
Oh, that'd be nice.
Right?
For you.
You and Jeff
Because-
Bezos.
for you,
Oh,
for everyone. Wouldn't you
Oh.
love it? You're like, I'm actually feeling a salad from Grateful Gardens.
Oh,
Can you just go grab that for me.
just go grab me a
Psych,
steak.
I'm gonna eat. Yeah, I'm gonna eat a cup of noodles, whatever. Anyways, Amy, tell us where we can find you.
So Breathe Bar is in Midtown. We're right above Pinion and Noble Pie, next to Moonlight Lace, Aurario, 777 South Center Street, Suite 201. And Habit is in Breathe Bar too.
Oh my
So we're
gosh.
all in there.
Where can they find you on social so they can see those before and afters?
Reno Breathe Bar is our Instagram. And that's all of the things. You're going to see all the before and afters. You're going to see all of the different type of massage that we do. We have a sauna, get to know the staff a little bit.
RenoBreatheBar.com for
RenoBreatheBar.com.
more
Yes.
info.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. Well, I'm like fully cutting off because I think we just went like 10 minutes over.
We did.
Yeah. So that was our beautiful friend, Amy Burkett. We love her so. Did I say your last name right?
Yeah.
Okay. We love her
Don't ask me.
so much. We hope you go listen to Kygo and that you go get your Kygo. You can follow along with Britton and I on Brit on Blast at BLFT Reno and at Haven and Flux. If you like the show, subscribe, review. You know what to do. Thank you guys so much for listening to the show, and we'll catch you next time.
Cheers, y'all.